A lot of things scared me as a kid. Hell, one time I was watching Camp Rock at my grandma's house when a Furby went off under some clutter. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, so cut to me crying, screaming, and pissing my pants while this scene played.
Camp Rock! Camp Rock! Camp Rock!
My point is, this guy was a wimp. Hi, welcome to another Saturday video. If you don't know what that means, I don't blame you. There's like 700 more of you. Saturdays are for the gorals, so subscribe to become a goral. Okay, a lot of things scared me as a kid. Among these was a show called Fraggle Rock. This was one of Jim Henson's Muppet spin-offs that followed the Fraggles, little Muppets that live in the walls. I feel the need to tell you that Muppets is the biological term for any felt creature in this universe, not just the name of the show. Yeah, I guess you could call me a... Wait, what are Muppet fans called? Muppets as a derogatory term for slightly stupid people. Muffets? Muppy? Muppies? Muppites? Muppetops? Anyways, I thought about Fraggle Rock recently and I couldn't remember what quite scared me. So I decided to watch it all again, which is available on YouTube, by the way. And great news, I found exactly what scared me. Everything. It was every single thing. Which can be conveniently shown in the first 2 episodes. Listen, I don't have the kind of budget to go to Canada where they actually shot Fraggle Rock, so you're gonna have to deal with my brother's room instead.
Dude, what the fuck?
Episode 1 opens up with Uncle Matt, who is an explorer, discovering outer space, which turns out to be the real world. This brings us to the first fear of mine, that Fraggles were living in my walls. At first it didn't click, but the show continues to instill the idea that Fraggles are everywhere. Every creak of your floor, every banging of your pipes, any noise coming from your house is a Fraggle. I get scared of many other things in this show, but everything is heightened by the fact that I, Harley K, believe that Fraggles were living in my walls. Fraggle Rock has 3 main sets. You have the real world, Fraggle Rock, and then you have the land of the Gorgs, which is a fantasy land that's accompanied by creatures that we call the Gorgs. Which as an adult became very confusing quickly. Allow this diagram to explain. Every time the Fraggles go to the real world, they exit stage left, which means that the real world should be here. Every time the Fraggles go to the land of the Gorgs, they exit stage right, which means that they should be here. I guess that looks fine, until you remember that the Fraggles live in the walls, so this diagram should really look like this. So that begs the question, America, how come humans never run into Gorgs? Or maybe the Gorgs have been here the entire time. Gorgs could be your friends. Gorgs could be your family. Tucker Carlson impressions aside, seriously, how does that work?
I wonder, if you watch them long enough, can you learn to understand?
I do want to take a quick moment to talk about some good things in the show. One of these includes Uncle Matt. Every episode takes a moment to cut away to Uncle Matt's adventures in the world. He's just doing normal things, but I do genuinely find it funny when he explains what he's doing like he's an alien who's never experienced these things. Like going to the movies, riding a roller coaster, you know, those things. There's also a running gag where one character will tell the other character, "Close your eyes," upon saying that another character will close their eyes, followed by the character who had prompted them to do so, telling them, "Dark, isn't it?" And I find that to be hilarious. I know, it's dumb. I'll go back to the terrifying parts. Anyways, we can talk about the next thing I fear in Fraggle Rock. The Gorgs. There are 3 Gorgs, Ma Gorg, Pa Gorg, and most importantly, Junior Gorg. I just realized that Pa Gorg kind of sounds like Poggors. Like Poggers, the gaming term. The Gorgs are full-body costumes instead of being your typical puppets, which makes their movement much closer to humans and much closer to that uncanny valley. Junior Gorg chases the Fraggles down several times per episode. During these chases, he yells at the Fraggles, which sounds like he's saying a slur every time.
One of these days I'll get you, Fraggles!
Overall, I'm pretty sure you can see why I was afraid of the Gorgs. I will tell you, however, I was way more scared than I really should have been. Every time Junior would chase down the Fraggles, I would get genuinely scared as if I was running alongside them. there would be built up anxiety like he was gonna catch me too. Now this is probably a good time to mention all the other things that scared me, just little characters who really shivered my timbers. This dog. This dog was always onto the Fraggles, but clearly he is not a dog, he is a puppet, kind of. He moves like a human and doesn't act like a dog at all. Oh yeah, and there was that one time that he mauled the main character.
Huh? Oh, help! Do something! Do anything! Help! Help! Do something! Anything!
Every episode the Fraggles go to this trash heap for advice.
There's only one thing to do, and that's go ask the trash heap for advice.
Which you might think is fine because, hey, it's just a trash heap. Until you see it appear.
Sheep!
This caused me to look at every pile of leaves with suspicion for the rest of my life. Because I feared specifically that this thing would emerge from any pile of leaves that I passed by. You'll never catch me raking. Oh yeah, and the trash heap has boobs. And finally, any Fraggle in the background. The resolution may make this difficult to see, but the background Fraggles are just lifeless animatronics. Which makes sense as far as logic goes. I mean, it might be hard to find a bunch of extra puppeteers and pay them to be in the background while you're singing your songs, but when you're a kid, you're not thinking about payroll, you're just looking at those guys swaying in the background, watching. I know what you're thinking. Harley, were you just afraid of every character in the show? And the answer to that is surprisingly no. Meet the Doozers. They're just a bunch of New York construction workers. They're just a bunch of guys being guys, and I love them. I think everyone should just be more like the Doozers.
Look at that. Does my heart good.
Ah, yes. Architecture is meant to be enjoyed.
They just like building. And the Fraggles, those sons of bitches, destroy their buildings all the time. This is an official declaration of war against the Fraggles on behalf of the Doozers. They deserve rights, goddammit. They're just fans of architecture, and they deserve more. Overall, I actually really enjoyed rewatching Fraggle Rock. I just thought it was super funny that I would get scared of these little things. Anyways, thank you as always for watching. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also make sure to leave a like, I really appreciate it. For now I have to go though. Tune in next week where I raise a bunch of little turtles until they're teenagers. Okay, bye!